it's Carol Morrock at carolmorrock.com. Welcome to Solo and Smart, my YouTube channel. And today I want to introduce Stacy Francis, and she has several credentials. And Stacy is the president and CEO of Francis Financial, a fee-only boutique wealth management, financial planning, and divorce financial planning firm dedicated to providing ongoing comprehensive advice for successful individuals, couples, and women in transition, such as, as we go through divorce or potentially widowhood. And she is a certified financial planner, certified divorce financial analyst, which I never knew those existed, and certified estate and trust specialist with over 20 years of experience in the financial industry. And Stacy's also the founder of a really great nonprofit that I was fortunate enough to stumble upon, and it's called Savvy Ladies. And I have attended several webinars that Stacy offers there. And she's also the host of a Financially Ever After podcast and the author of a white paper, Unveiling the Unspoken Truth. And I will put the links of how you can contact or find Savvy Ladies in the description below. Well, welcome, Stacy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored, and I know that was a mouthful, but I will tell you that I'm just a regular person that realized that money is something that we as women need to learn. And so my hope is that after our 15 minutes or so together, that the amazing women of Solo and Smart are savvy women as well, learning a little bit more about their money, because that is so important, particularly for women.
Oh, especially, because as we go through divorce, as we go through widowhood or whatever type of transitions that we come across, even changing jobs or moving to a new location, there's so many things that we miss out on, or we may kind of get backtracked on. So could you tell our audience your story of how you started Savvy Ladies?
Well, thank you for asking. And I feel so honored to share. I never thought I would grow up to do this work. Numbers scared me. The stock market scared me. I grew up, on 5 acres, growing our own food, raising horses in Michigan. And here I am. And how my story changed to be where I am today is that someone who was so important to me, my grandmother, taught me a really important lesson about how important money is, and in particular, how important financial literacy is. She was married since she was 18. And unfortunately, my grandfather was abusive to her. He was an alcoholic, and it was not only emotional abuse and financial abuse, but it also became physical abuse. Growing up as a little girl, seeing this happen in front of you changes you. I had a huge amount of anger towards him. And I'll tell you, Carol, anger with her stayed. And I was able to finally ask her and get the courage to try and just piece together, why do you let someone do this to you? Of course, a young girl not understanding all the different pieces that were at play. And one of them that she shared with me, that I give her so much credit for sharing and being so honest, was that she felt financially trapped. And Carol, that's when my life took a U-turn. And I was in college my first year, and completely changed my major, added finance, and that from that day forward, knew that if I don't become knowledgeable around finances, my God, this could happen to me. The story, unfortunately, doesn't get better. She ended up passing away because of abuse, even though he promised that he stopped. And so she passed away in her 80s and lived her entire life under the threat of this man. Obviously, a lot of anger there that I still am dealing with, that my father is dealing with. But one of the really good things that grandma did is that she told her truth. She made sure that I knew how important it was to be dependent on myself and to invest in myself around money. And also, she's created a beautiful legacy. And I started Savvy Ladies in her honor. It's been almost 20 years. And it started from such humble beginnings. It was women coming to my New York City apartment, 8 women, maybe 9. I couldn't afford to buy food, so I made it. And thank goodness no one was allergic to cats, because my cat managed to sit on every person's lap throughout the entire presentation. And we started from very humble beginnings to where we are now. And we are a full 501c3. We serve pro bono around 5,000 women each year, and it's growing exponentially. We have 50 workshops and seminars every single year. We've recorded them. And so when you go to our website, every financial topic you could ever hope for. And the piece that is very unique about Savvy Ladies is that we have the only helpline in the country for women to call to get one-on-one financial support. And our volunteers are accountants, certified financial planners, investment specialists, divorce financial analysts, grief counselors, and experts in that area of finance, so that a woman, however she comes to us, whatever her socioeconomic background, whatever her financial challenge or question that she has, we have a vetted volunteer to help her. And our volunteers are just that. We are a nonprofit. They are there volunteering their time because they care about this mission and because they care about financial literacy for women. And we have about 100 women who come to our helpline every single month who get that one-on-one support and minimum of an hour call or Zoom call, which again is pro bono. Our goal is to help women, whatever they're up against, and know what my grandma didn't know, that they're not alone. They're not alone, and we're here to support.
Well, I have a question about that. Do people have to sign up for that service in terms of having that, getting advice from a professional?
So there's no membership, there's nothing. So, and we actually don't income test either, because grandma, they were middle class, so she would not have qualified for some of the programs for individuals that are living at the poverty line or below. And there are a good number of programs for those women, and we do serve those women. But we also serve women who have some retirement savings, but are concerned, do I have enough? Women who are getting out of college and want to start their careers off and invest in a 401k, but gosh, how do I do that if I'm paying student loans too? And so you can go right onto our website, savvyladies.org, and there's a link to our helpline. You can go ahead and put it in, and then we hand match you with a person who has expertise in your question. Or you can give a call to the website or give a call to the Savvy Ladies office too. But again, what's most important for people to know is that any woman can come, and it's private, it's confidential, and there's no sales ploy. We're not owned by a Merrill Lynch or a whatever. It truly is a nonprofit to give education, and our volunteers are not allowed to actually work with anyone that they have helped through the helpline. And we do that to, again, preserve that important relationship of giving non-biased, independent advice.
Okay. Now, can you tell me, because the way I found Savvy Ladies was through a webinar. It was being advertised, and I apologize, I don't remember how I found it, but it was about investing money, not necessarily starting a 401k, for example, because I have those.
Yep.
However, I wanted to expand, see if there's a way to expand into the stock market, into real estate with what I currently have. I mean, what are all the options that were available to me? And I learned so much from the professional who was giving the webinar, and I think it was an hour long, but I appreciate it so much. So thank you. But what other type of webinars do you provide or deliver?
Great questions. A lot of women are coming to us with questions about Social Security. Is it
Yes,
too late for me to invest? How do I invest if I'm in my 60s or 70s? Um, Unfortunately, my husband has passed away. And what do I need to do with my finances now in the first year of being a widow? A third of the women who come to us are looking at possibly separation or divorce. And another question of, you know, is this something that I can afford? And what is my life going to look like financially? How do I protect myself and my financial security? And these are such important questions for women because 8 out of 10 of us at some point in our life are going to be 100% responsible for our finances. And often we're ill equipped, and it's not necessarily our fault. There are very few people that had a high school course that taught them this information. It didn't happen for me. I don't think it happened for you either. And so, how are we going to learn this? And often, just the divide and conquer relationship of a typical marriage, one person's in charge of the finances and the long term investing and that piece, and the other one, not so much doing other very important things. But what it does is it can leave women vulnerable.
absolutely.
And that's the last thing we want, because when you look at poverty rates, women are 4 times more likely to live in poverty above age 65 than our male counterparts. And that's a statistic that has not changed in decades, that needs to change.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I, I didn't, I mean, I had saved money throughout my career in terms of um, uh, what I guess contributing to my IRAs, right?
Yep.
However, I didn't really get how much the cost of what it's like, what it will be like in when I would get older. I didn't save
Yeah.
enough for like long-term care or healthcare, healthcare expenses, because that can be terribly very high cost. So what turned me on, and I'm afraid to say, well, I'm embarrassed to say actually that I didn't really get turned on to these high costs until when I was a family caregiver at the age of 50, 55. I saw what my parents went through and how much all of those healthcare costs and other expenses that they had to deal with, and high insurance or what have you. And so that's when I really got on the stick and started saving a lot more money. And unfortunately, we're not taught these things, like you say, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Very,
And Carol, you have nothing to be, embarrassed about. It's pretty darn amazing that at 55 you did learn that, because often we as women don't realize the cost of high healthcare until we are experiencing that,
yes,
right? And for women, the cost of healthcare for us is significantly higher for many reasons. Number one, because we live a lot longer. And number two, because we have reproductive organs, we have breasts, we have things that men don't have that we need to be going into OBGYN and all of these other things. And so, starting early is really important, but also knowing that no matter where you are, you're not too late. If you're in your mid 60s, you're not too late. Your portfolio has a horizon out to age 95. So a 30-year horizon means that you need some risk and that it's going to grow for you and you need those stocks. Even someone in their 70s, the same thing. Not 100% stocks. And I would say, maybe not even 60% stocks. It might even be a little lower than that. But we as women, we need that growth. We need that growth. And I understand that it's scary. And the stock market in particular, is very volatile. We've had 12 years of gains. And there is the question of, when is the shoe going to drop? When are we going to see losses? And will I be okay? Well, this is where a robust portfolio, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, comes into play and is so important. Because if you're taking distributions from your portfolio, and God forbid the stock market goes to hell in a handbasket, you've got your stable bonds that most likely have not changed value. And so you're never going to find yourself forced to sell a stock when the market has plummeted. So making sure that you have both of those pieces in your portfolio. And that's one of the things I know that, we talked about in that webinar, because again, a robust portfolio is a woman's best defense against the high cost of healthcare, against the getting started a little later than we would like, and the beautiful long life expectancy that most of us have.
Yes, yeah, I agree. And I'm fortunate to have someone where I live in my building that we're very good friends. And he has invested in the market for over 50 years. He started when he was very young. And he's very confident about investing. So I kind of rely on him a little bit. However, I've learned to trust. I'm starting. I can't say I'm totally there, but I'm learning to trust myself in picking and selecting stocks
Well,
and buying them.
and that's the thing, Carol, and that makes me so excited because it's like going to a gym. I took a little bit of time off from the gym during COVID and have started to go back in. And I will tell you, the first couple times I was sore. It was not pretty. But the more you go, the stronger you get. And I have to tell you, it's the same thing with learning about finance.
Yeah.
It can feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but I have to say this stuff is really cool. And if investing isn't your cup of tea, then think about and look at socially conscious investing and get excited about learning about companies that are doing good for the environment or doing good for their community or the world at large, that also can give you a great investment return. And so find a way that you can get excited and be engaged, because this is something that is just as important as fitness. I call it financial fitness, and trust me, we need it for the rest of our life.
Yeah. And what's really funny, I have to tell you a story. When I first opened my TD Ameritrade account, that's what I use. And I called them on the phone to get some instructions, blah, blah. And so the guy was helping me on the phone and he said, okay, well, this is how you do it. He kind of walked me through it. And he said, so let's make a purchase, which we did, a stock investment. And he said, okay, so how many do you want? I said, one. He said, one? And I said, well, I'm starting out slow.
Yeah, yeah, you do that. You start out slow. I mean, if you haven't been in walking for a while, would you ever sign up for a marathon 26.2 miles? No, we would look at you like, Carol, no, what the heck are you thinking? You would go
Right,
out and maybe do 1 mile, right? It's the
right.
same thing with investing. You don't want to sign up for a 26-mile race here. You want to start to get comfortable, get knowledgeable, and use the resources. all the resources of Savvy Ladies, and there are others out there too, but they're there for you. And I think what's so special is that there are also fantastic investment experts that are there on the helpline that can help you understand for your unique situation. Because, Carol, your situation is different than another woman who's listening to this right now. Every person is different ages, different needs, different obligations to either children or parents, different parts of the country that we live in, different amounts of income from Social Security, or maybe there is a pension. We're all different. And so while a lot of great information is out there to get smart about investing, having the opportunity to work one-on-one with someone to figure out, like, but what's right for me, right? But what's right for me is so powerful. So reach out to the helpline. We want more people to come. We have capacity. And so we would love more people to reach out and use it as a service.
Well, I highly recommend all you listeners to check out savvyladies.org. And Stacy, if you could tell our audience one more time how to access that
Yeah.
free, I guess it's consultation.
Yes. Yeah. So if you go right on the website, and I'm actually going on the website right now. So right on the website, on the front page, you'll see that there is our fantastic helpline. And there you can go ahead and click right on that helpline.
Yeah.
It's a quick and easy form. It takes you maybe 3 minutes, maybe 4, and we'll connect you. And also, just for anyone who's interested, we have our gala coming up in November, honoring really phenomenal women who have gone through our programs that are truly savvy ladies that have taken control of their financial future. Some of them sharing, really difficult financial situations and coming out on top. So please do reach out. And if there's anything we can do to support you, just let us know.
Great. I will get that link and post it in the description below for our audience, because I think it's
Wonderful.
so important for individuals to check you out and to see if there's a match, if it resonates with them, and to certainly get, uh, take advantage of some of those free resources, because finances and money is so important. And not to say that money is the most important thing for us. However, it certainly makes us feel much more comfortable as we move forward.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely agree.
so thank you, Stacy, for joining us today. Thank you. This was
Thank you.
great.
So hopefully everybody is definitely ready to get a little bit more savvy. All of us can definitely benefit from that. Thank you for having me, and also thank you for creating such an amazing community for women. There's not enough communities out there, and so Carol, I just give you so much credit because I know a lot of heart and a lot of soul goes into this amazing group.
Oh, thank you, Stacy. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and share this video with a friend. I'm sure we all have friends that are in need of advice and tips for our finances, saving money, having more money, and better ways to spend our money. Thanks again, and circle back in the next day or two.